right now we want to bring in our colleague Peter Wakaba, who is live at Karen, where the Youth in Agribusiness Conference kicked off today. A lot of young people attending, a lot of policymakers, a big number of multinational companies represented from the USAID to CAVIS. And Wakaba, interesting discussions happening across the board when it comes to food security and the role of the young people. Perhaps just paint for us a picture of what has transpired since morning as you take it away.
Well, indeed, thank you very much there, my colleague Abiagina in the studio. We have been camping here in Karen at the KCB Leadership School. That, of course, is the college that is dedicated to, creating leaders in different aspects of the economy. And we have been attending the first ever Kenya Youth in Agribusiness conference that has brought youth from all 47 counties, about 500 of them being here today. And, of course, the launch of the Agribusiness Youth in Agribusiness Strategy for the year 2017, a document that's supposed to guide the engagement of youth in the value chain in agriculture for the way forward, over the next few years. To discuss that and, of course, what other stakeholders were doing here today, we have with us here on set Mr. Deogratius Magero. He is the Generation Kenya Program Coordinator. Now, Generation Kenya is a player in the value chain in not just agriculture, but across the rest of the economy, training the youth to skill themselves in various initiatives, which is now going to talk to us about. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Now, first of this is a agribusiness conference for the youth, meant to bring the youth into the agriculture value chain.
Yeah.
What exactly is Generation X, and what were you doing here today?
Well, sorry, I wish to correct you first. It's Generation Program Kenya.
My apologies.
Generation Program is a youth career readiness program.
Yes.
Funded by USAID and McKinsey and Company. And what basically we do is train young people and place them in jobs across different industries or different sectors of the economy, starting from the financial sector all the way to the restaurant and the retail sector. And we are also in the apparel industry, just recently launching the sewing machine operators, and also in the customer service, where we train youth on customer care and call center agents. Yes.
Part of the problem, one of the major challenges facing Kenya as a country today is that every year we churn out hundreds of thousands of graduates from various colleges, universities, vocational schools, different levels of the economy. Yet we have one of the highest unemployment rates right across the world. There seems to be a clear mismatch in the terms of skills that are being churned out and the skills that employers need. How do you fit in that gap?
A very good question. First, in our program, before we set up any program, we engage employers to identify their pain points, as well as identify the specific skills that all of us feel are missing in the current graduates. And that way, we are able to develop a curriculum and a program that is tailored towards preparing this candidate for that specific role. And then we retrain every young person that comes through our program and place them with these employers. And interestingly, about 100% of our current 145 plus employers are actually willing to hire again from us. That basically means that we are preparing these people in a unique way, taking them through a very experiential training session, as opposed to the theoretical conventional academic setting.
Yes, I'll just introduce you again, because this is an interesting conversation, and our viewers are definitely asking, who's this gentleman? And he's saying he has job opportunities for us. So again, our guest is Deogratius Magero. He is the program coordinator for Generation Kenya. It is an organization that is skilling the youth in the roles which the market has been trying to fill, but hasn't really found relevant skills from universities and other colleges and sort of vocational schools. Now, the issue that I wanted to go to next was the fact that even with the current state of unemployment, you are saying that you have partners, companies out there who are saying that they have vacancies yet unfilled, and who have been partnering with you to find people with these sorts of skills and to bring them into the job market. That's right?
Yes, that is very true.
So if we were to say that then there are lots of young Kenyans out there listening, looking for these opportunities, what then is the way forward?
The way forward is reach out to us. We are on Facebook, Generation Kenya. We are on Twitter at Generation KE.
Yes.
Feel free to call us. I can give you my numbers later on for the office.
Yes.
So that basically we can, because we are currently operating in 10 counties in Kenya with about 36 training centers and still growing. And we want to reach out to these young people that feel disconnected, they feel unemployed or not satisfied with their employment. We refer them to as underemployed because we have companies that have these vacancies.
Yes.
And let's come. We'll take them through a training process and connect them to companies that hire. Just to make a correction here.
Yes.
We do not give out jobs, but we have employers that we partner with.
Yes.
With Generation as a program trains these young people, gives them the right skills and connects them to these employers. Yes.
You talked about pain points.
Yes.
The places in the economy, in companies, in various institutions where there are gaps. Talk to us about some of those.
Well, look at it this way. As employers need a person who can present themselves professionally, who has the mindset, the right mindset for a given role. And this is what these are some of the pain points that companies are missing. We have a graduate who does not have the right mindset for a given kind of a job.
Yes.
Look at it. We have quite a number of graduates who just want to be managers on day one.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you have to grow through the system. So as Generation, we pick this kind of people, not only graduates, but even Form 4 leavers. And we take them through a training process, very rigorous training process, preparing them through skills such as growth mindset, future orientation, basically helping these people realize that they can build a career.
Yes.
So we also transform their mindset. Like we were talking about agriculture.
Yes.
Young people need to be patient. They need to know that you cannot just get a job with a dream salary at a go after your graduation, but you need to take it step by step, grow through the ladder. That's what you're talking about: growth mindset, future orientation, and persistence, which are really necessary for you to succeed in the current economy.
So then nothing is ever for free. The fact that you also need to see a bit of commitment. So talk to us about what you usually require from these people who are partnering with you to put them in the job market.
Good. First and foremost, we are looking at young people aged 20 to 29 years old. Depending with the given programs, averagely we are looking at people who have a minimum of a D+ in KCSE and have the right intrinsics and affinity to a given number of the programs that we do. Then we'll take them through a screening or interview process just to identify their affinity, the intrinsics, their attraction, the personality, and help them fit any of our given programs. So once they are accepted into the program, they only pay 3,000 Kenya shillings as a commitment fee. To help them join the program, and that is just payment for the training. After the training, then we will organize interviews for them with our companies.
So what then has been the role of USAID in the formation of this initiative, and what does that organization hope to achieve out of this?
Good. USAID, as we all know, USAID is supporting this development in the young people, and basically it is one of our greatest funders, and we really thank USAID for giving us an opportunity to reach out to many young people and transform the lives of these young people. And going forward, we are looking at a sustainable approach, where we can actually have these programs running beyond donor funding, but we still really appreciate the input of the donors, and we are looking forward to having more young people placed in these jobs.
Finally, because there's thousands of Kenyans out there looking for placement in jobs, to grow careers, to become self-sustaining. What are the plans for expansion?
A good question. Well, I would say we are still building on the current programs that we have, and hopefully going forward we can have as many of these programs as possible, so that we can have every young person out there who feels underemployed, disconnected in a given way, get an opportunity to get employment, and from employment they can get money to basically have a self-reliant life.
Indeed, thank you very much. There's Mr. Deogratius Magera from Generation Kenya.
You're most welcome.
Talking to us about what the organization is doing in terms of skilling up Kenyan youth to be able to take up productive roles within the economy. Of course, something that has been a pertinent topic here at the first ever Youth in Agribusiness here in Nairobi. From us here, I think that's where we call it a day on the ground here, but we take you back to studio for more with my colleague, Abby Agina.
Well, many thanks there. Peter Akaba coming to us live from Karen, where we'll be covering the 3-day conference that will be ending on the 20th of the month. And of course, expect a lot of insights on matters to do with agribusiness and how you as the youth can angle yourself and take part in this discussion? And of course, how can you also be involved in getting to ensure that you play a role when it comes to matters to do with agribusiness, which is considered as one of the fastest growing sector? Well, getting to some other stories now.